All right, let's dive in. Today, we're talking about a breed that's, well, it's kind of like having a wolf you can live with, the Czechoslovakian Wolfdog. But what really makes them tick? What are their biggest needs, their biggest challenges? It all boils down to one single, incredibly powerful idea. And that's what we're going to decode today.
So let's just get right to it. I mean, look at this animal. What does it really mean to have a wolf in your house? Is it just about the cool factor, the way they look? No way. The answer goes way, way deeper than that. We're talking about trying to understand an ancient, hardwired mind.
And here it is, the key to absolutely everything. For a Czechoslovakian Wolfdog, you and your family, you're not just owners, you are a pack. And I don't mean that in some cute, fuzzy way. I mean a real, functioning wolf pack. This is literally the reality of how this dog sees its entire world.
So what's driving all this? It's something called the pack instinct. And this isn't something they learn, okay? It's baked right into their DNA, a direct inheritance from their wolf ancestors. It's this deep, powerful need to be part of a group that has rules, a clear pecking order, and, most importantly, a leader they can totally and completely trust. And you have to understand this is not just some interesting factoid. The source material calls it the alpha and omega of living successfully with this breed. You know what that means? It's the beginning and the end. It's everything. If you don't grasp the pack instinct, you just can't succeed with this dog. It is absolutely that critical.
Okay, so if the pack is everything, that leads to a huge question. Who's the boss? Because this deep-seated instinct creates a non-negotiable need. The wolfdog is genetically programmed to look for a leader, a real, natural authority figure it can depend on, especially when things get weird or scary. It's not just looking for an owner, it's looking for what one source calls a super alpha.
And really, there are only two ways this can go. There's no in-between. Path number one, you step up. You become that calm, confident leader. The result? You get stability, trust, and an incredibly loyal partner. But if the dog senses that nobody's in charge, that there's a power vacuum, its instinct is to take over. And that second path? Well, that leads to chaos, dominant behavior, and frankly, a dog that's pretty much unmanageable.
And don't think for a second this is a one-and-done kind of thing. The wolfdog is always paying attention to the pack hierarchy, always watching. And just like a human teenager, when they hit that adolescent phase, they are absolutely going to test you. They'll push the boundaries to see if you're really the one in charge. That's why being a consistent leader isn't just important, it's everything.
So let's say you do everything right. You're the perfect leader. You've got this intense, incredible bond with your pack. Well, that deep connection has a flip side, a really, really big one. And it might just be the single greatest challenge of living with this breed. They have an absolute, deep-seated hatred of being alone. And we need to be super clear about this. For a wolf dog, being alone isn't just boring. It's not like they're just sitting around waiting for you to come home. To their wolf brain, being separated from the pack is a life or death situation. It causes real psychological pain, a deep primal fear that they've been abandoned and left to die. And that suffering, it comes out in some really intense ways. We're talking about these haunting, wolf-like howls that are literally designed to call the pack back home. We're talking about shredding furniture, tearing up doors, basically destroying the house out of pure panic. And in some cases, truly desperate and even dangerous attempts to escape and find their family. So, what's the magic number? How many hours can you leave a wolf dog all by itself? The ideal number is 0. A big, fat 0. This is not a dog you can just leave at home while you go to work or school for 8 hours. It simply cannot handle it. It needs its pack, period. Now, because they're so deeply connected to their pack, the way they communicate is on a whole other level compared to most dogs. They don't really do a lot of barking. Instead, they use this incredibly rich and subtle language passed down directly from wolves. They are literally speaking wolf. So how do they do it? Well, it's a whole symphony of signals. You have to watch their facial expressions. Every little twitch means something. Then there's their body posture, the way they hold themselves. They use specific gestures. And yeah, of course there are sounds, but it's so much more than just howling. It's a whole library of whines and yips and other noises, and every single one has a different meaning. But here's the really wild part. This communication is a two-way street. These dogs are masters of empathy. A wolf dog can pick up on your mood, if you're stressed, happy, nervous, before you even say a single word. Sometimes before you even realize it yourself. They are constantly reading their leader.
So it sounds like a lot, right? You have to be a super alpha, you can never leave them alone, you have to learn a whole new language. But if you can actually do all that, the reward is, well, it's something profound. It's a bond for life, a kind of loyalty that is just absolute and completely unbreakable.
But even this incredible loyalty has a flip side. On one hand, they form this amazing bond, usually with one main person in the pack. But on the other, that fierce devotion to their family makes them really wary and suspicious of strangers. And it also means that changing owners is a huge, huge deal. It's not like finding a new home for another dog. For a wolf dog, it can be a deeply traumatic event that marks them for life. And that brings us to a quote that just perfectly sums it all up. This is not a dog for guarding property. It is a full-fledged family member. You get it? You don't get a wolf dog to watch your house from the backyard. You get one to become a complete, totally integrated member of your pack. That's the only way they can be psychologically stable and truly happy.
And so, we'll leave you with this. After hearing everything it truly demands, the constant presence, the unwavering leadership, the need to understand a whole different language, the question isn't whether you want a wolf dog. The real question is this: are you truly ready to be the leader of a pack?